It's Rachel D'Alto, Match's chief dating expert, here for a premium week audio series of adults only, Be a Better Dater in 2022. In this first episode, I want to talk about how to be the best dater in 2022 from an overall perspective. We're going to talk about confidence. We're going to talk about intentional dating, non-negotiables, and some of the amazing tips that we got from our Singles in America study this year. And we have to start with confidence because confidence changes how you date, who you date, and how well your relationships progress. The more confident you are and the more self-worth that you have, the more that you're willing to put yourself out there and never settle for less than you deserve. And let's be real here, confidence is so attractive. So how do we become more confident? This is something I talk about all the time. And obviously, we only have a short period of time together on this today, but this is something that you can take with you and continue to practice. It's all about becoming aware of those negative thoughts, aware of those thoughts you have when you open up your app and you think, they won't like me, or they're not going to write me back, or they won't date me. These are negative thoughts that creep up all the time for daters. So we want to nip those in the bud and we want to become aware of them because the more aware you become of something, the better you can address it and start to shift that thought. So I say, become aware of those thoughts. Start to pay attention of how you talk to yourself, how you talk to yourself when you're going through profiles, how you talk to yourself when you're messaging, how you talk to yourself when you're leaving for a date or on a date. We all have this inner monologue and we have these inner thoughts that can get in the way of our success. And then once you're aware of those thoughts, start to shift them. And my favorite thing in the world to do is an affirmation. Affirmations are basically words that we say to ourselves to encourage ourselves. And you could do this in a mirror, which honestly you get bonus points for, even though it's a little weird sometimes for people. Finding something that you can say to yourself to encourage yourself, to be a better dater, to have more confidence can make an enormous impact. Even if you start with something like, I am worthy of love. Just try repeating that to yourself when you open the app. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I am worthy of love. Because the more that we start to tell our brain something, the more that we start to believe it. I can't talk about how to be a best dater in 2022 without diving into some of the things that we learned in the Singles in America study that can help you. One is that intentional dating is in, which is my favorite trend that has come out of the pandemic is that people are really interested in finding meaningful, committed relationships. In fact, 62% of singles say that they're more interested in that than anything. And only 11% want to date casually. So how do we become more intentional about our dating? And how do we own it? Because listen, if you want to have a casual relationship, that's totally fine. But if you are looking for something significant, it's okay to pursue that and to eliminate other possibilities. And how we do that is through non-negotiables. Non-negotiables are those qualities that you're looking for in someone that don't change. They're not about looks. Yes, I want you to be attracted to the people you date, obviously, but I want to focus on really what are the values of this person? What are the characteristics of this person that you are connecting with? And do they align with your non-negotiables? Non-negotiables are those baseline characteristics. They're the things that don't change in people. They're the things that are making up their personality. And so it could be something like kindness. It could be humor. It could be loyalty, family-oriented, all of these different qualities that really make up a human being, but have nothing to do with their height or their weight or their eye color. And so when you find those non-negotiables, and typically I only allow people to have 4, I'm sorry, no more lists, but we want to really narrow down what are those non-negotiables that I can't live without. And then you only date those people and you only search for those people that have those non-negotiables. Now you may be thinking, Rachel, I don't know if the person is kind based on a message back and forth. And that's true. And you can continue to date them until you find out that they don't have those non-negotiables. You continue to date them to learn about them, to assess whether or not they meet your non-negotiables. But if you find that they don't, you have to eliminate them. And that's what keeps you intentional. When you are focused on something, all of a sudden it is far easier to recognize what you're looking for and what you don't want. Because I'll tell you something, I have never met someone more committed to ignoring all red flags than when they had a massive attraction to another person. This resolves it because you're focused on those non-negotiables. I also want to share some tips that came out of Singles in America beyond intentional dating. What we are seeing is that people are really looking to connect first and then have sex later. 2/3 of singles want to wait to have sex with a new partner until after the first 3 dates. So take it slow. It's okay. Another place that 3 dates came up in the data was that most singles need 3 dates to know if you're compatible with someone. And they're recognizing that chemistry takes time to build. And you might need 3 dates to find those non-negotiables out. So give it that little bit of extra time to see if this is potentially your person. Let's talk about what the data showed about how to act on the date. So one of the biggest things that singles are looking for in terms of a great first date is laughter. 47% of singles agree. I don't know who the other 53% is, but 47% say that laughter is the most important, followed by deep, meaningful conversations, which kind of goes back to everything we were just talking about in terms of intentional dating and finding a partner versus someone that we're just attracted to. And the types of dates that people are interested in have started to shift. 44% of singles got more into cooking during the pandemic. That was not me. And 46% got more into watching new TV shows. These are both great things that you can do together on a date later down the road. There's so many little things that you can do to be the best dater in 2022. And we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics this week. But remember, be confident, talk kindly to yourself, say those affirmations, get intentional, identify those non-negotiables, and hack the system. Use the data to serve you and to help you date better. Tune in tomorrow where we will be talking Match Profile Hacks 2.0. Thanks for listening. This is Rachel D'Alto, Match's Chief Dating Expert.